Previously on People and Places. We began with a story about their freedom from the grips of their then oppressor, King Agokoli in Nochi, how they finally settled on their current lands, and then there is a bit about why they are deemed fearful by some people.
The word Ghana is an heavy word. It's a hyena. Agokoli, he started to punish them. The first thing he asked them was to build a wall around the Nochi city. The wall was about 24 feet wide. If your offenders will not say anything, but that doesn't mean you will not retaliate.
In the second episode, a resource person, Togbi Kumasa, offered what we call the epic version of Komfa Nochi's life story and the twist about his twin.
Salah, as a twin brother, he was also a mystic. The first thing he did was to help him found the capital of the newly formed Ashanti kingdom. His name was now changed Otumfuo from Nochi.
Religion and culture. That was an extensive one for the third episode. We learnt all about the belief system of the Anlos, their food, the juju factor, and others. The Awoemefia spokesperson also took us back in time, explaining why the Anlos cannot be part of the Western Togoland turf war.
I don't have any shrine here.
Okay.
But in the past, when life was not very safe, if you build your house, you must bury some concoction to protect the house. They have varieties from one stable crop. You take cassava, but the cassava means there is life. If you are lucky, you have an every girl. You don't need anything again. You have all the. There is salt in it, there is pepper in it, everything.
There's every spice in there.
Papa, including Anlos as part of Western Togoland, it's not correct.
This is the last and final edition, and this one is the icing on the cake. Why are the Anlos tagged NDC? What is their political system like? Who and what is the role of their king, the Awoemefia Togbi the First? And finally, what and where are the exciting and beautiful landmarks they boast of? It's going to be exciting. Here we go.
Welcome back. This is the final episode of this edition of People and Places, with focus on the Anlos state and its people. We've been speaking to Togbi Kumasa. He's the Agbotadua of the Togbi Te Agbozo stew of Jelukope. He's also the spokesperson of the Awoemefia. This time we zoom into chieftaincy and how it works with the Anlos. We'll also delve into the conversation about their landmarks and some prominent people. Join us. We've come far, but we have to complete with the chieftaincy system of the Anlos. So we know that it's a state, and the Awoemefia is in charge of the state. He has sub-chiefs and paramount chiefs under him. How does the whole system work?
Yeah, the Anglo chieftaincy system is very well arranged. In fact, it was because of that the British recognized Anglos as the first kingdom in the Gold Coast. That was in 1874 when a treaty was signed in Jelukope here, making this part of the eastern province of the Gold Coast. It will be interesting to note that it was 26 years after that Ashanti also became part of the Gold Coast.
What qualified you as a kingdom?
Kingdoms are based on the structure of authority. Because in Anglo, the first source of authority is the father in the house. The father is the chief in the house. Then from there we go to the family head. That is siblings, the head of those siblings and their families. They have the clan head for the whole clan. Then you have the Hanua. Hanua is for a village that is not up to the size of a town. From Hanua, then we come to a chief. Then you have the Dufia. That's chief of the whole town. The Dufia has so many chiefs under him. Then from the Dufia, we go to Fiagao. They are the divisional chiefs. Then from the divisional chiefs, we go to the wing commanders. So you have the right wing, middle wing, and the left wing. Then above them, then we have the Avadada. That's the field marshal of the whole Anglo army. Then above is the Awoemefia. So you find that very well structured, so that you know how authority, how authority descends from the top to the bottom. That made them recognized as the first kingdom they met in the Gold Coast.
Okay, so who is, let's say, with the president, would say there's a vice president.
Yes.
After the Awoemefia, who is next in command?
Avadada.
Avadada.
Yes, that's the war mother, Avadada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll break it down. First, the Awoemefia is the chief, like he's an overlord.
He's both a priest and a king. He doesn't go to war.
The current Awoemefia is Toby Sri the third.
Yes.
How was he selected and then installed?
And the first condition to become Awoemefia is you must belong to the clan that produces the Awoemefia. Okay. There are two clans, the Azovia clan and then the Bata clan. And they rotate. The last Awoemefia was a Bata man. So the current one is Azovia.
Oh, okay.
Now when the seat becomes vacant, the various branches of the family will meet and put up candidates. Then the candidates will be screened. They look for intelligence, your exposure to traditional matters, your experience, and your well-to-do. You must be managing your own self. Now when they do that, then they hand over that also to the installation committee. That also take them through rites and rituals. Before finally you'll be taken to do a tokon. It's a shrine where they will perform most of the rituals because he's becoming a priest, a high priest, meaning all the deities will be under him. So you should know something about Afan, something about Yahweh, and all those things. Then after that, you will be installed as the Awoemefia. After the installation, you'll be confined for about 7 months. You're going to teach, to teach him in confinement.
You teach him about how to rule?
No, about the culture. How do you marry? How do you adopt children? What are the whole rights? What is juju? What is, all those that constitute the Anglos, you should be aware.
And which people are involved in the teaching process?
Well, we have elders who are very knowledgeable in custom and traditions. They normally visit him.
Who is the current Avadada?
Toby Agbashi Awusu, the second.
Okay. And what is his role?
He deals directly with the civilian population on behalf of the Awoemefia. Awoemefia does not speak directly to the people. He speaks through the Avadada. And he is not around the Avadada Arts. Where is his vice?
Okay. Do you have any history with the Akwemus?
Most of our clan was with Akwemus. Even today, there are chiefs that originate from Akwemu land.
There are chiefs here?
Yes.
That originates from?
Yes, their relatives are there.
Oh.
Because sometimes we become allies. And when they help us fight, we give them land. So they settle here. They settle here. So you have even one in the village here. They are from Akwemu area.
Okay.
And even our war drums were copied from the Akwemus.
Okay.
Yes. They are war drums, and so when we're having installation of chiefs, they play them, we call it Asapo. So they sing corrupted Akan songs. If you are Akan, you know that that's what they are saying.
So today, as it stands, we know that the Awoemefia and the Asantehene are very good friends.
Yes.
Sometimes the Awoemefia is invited to Akwesidai, and the Asantehene is also invited for Hogbechuchu. So has this always been the case? Have the Asantes and Ewes always had this cordial relationship?
Yes. In fact, in 1865, the Asantehene Kofi Karekare came to Anglogan. By then, Abrada was Aholu, and the Awoemefia was Amado Okpaglan. And then they ate fetish. They have a covenant that they will not fight one another again. And one term of the agreement was that they should build Anglogan in Kumasi, and then they should build Kumasi in Anglogan. So land was located from Kumasi in Anglogan. If you go to Anglogan, you see the signboard. And then land was located for Anglogan in Kumasi. You know that Kumasi have been peopled. If you go to Anglogan, Kumasi, you find a lot of AVs there. So, in fact, last year, 2018, this alliance was renewed when the current Asantehene was the second. Invited the Awoemefia Otumfuo the third for the Akwasidai festival as a special guest of honor. So we have been, you know, when two strong people, if you don't want to destroy another, then you become friends. That's what happened. In fact, in the Dasuta War, which came in 1866, the Ashantis came to support the Anglos against the Allied forces. The Allied were made up of guns, crobbles, Lakwomus. They all joined against the Anglos. So the Ashantis came to support them.
So you mentioned that somewhere in Angloga, you see the signboard, the Kumasi. That was where Kumasi was supposed to be established. So what happened?
That question will be answered by the Akans, the Kumasi people. Because we gave them the land. They also gave us land, but we were able to people there. I don't want to say that it was a fear of the Anglo or customs that meant, or they don't want to travel because they think they have all that they need there. We are great travelers. We are all over the country. So
this new treaty, what does it mean?
Is that the treaty specifically stated that the Anglos and Ashanti should be friends. There should not be any war again between the Anglos and the Ashantis. And to cement the agreement, Kofi Karekare even gave a sword to the Abalada. And that sword is still in the storehouse. Yes. And they also gave him a shotgun. Just to, and before there were instances where they want to compare their powers. And there was an instance they brought the two stools, and then they were asked to raise the stool. Now, Aholu at that time, Fadabada, went and did all that issue. Then they raised the Chicago coffee. But when they were coming, you have these powerful snakes surrounding the stool so that they were not able to raise it up.
Which stool?
The Anglo stool. Yeah. Because they want, being friends once in a while, you have to test your strength.
I see. So does this demystify the perception out there or myths out there that the Akans and the Anglos have an issue?
No, the only issue you have is how to strengthen our friendship. Because the Akans were looking for a route to the coast. The Afantis didn't want to allow them. So they found the Anglos very good allies who allowed them access to the coast. So that was what brought us together.
Okay.
And they also know of our great warriors. And they know they are also very powerful, like Tengue, like Giraldo, they heard of them.
Okay.
And what they could do, because Tengue like that, when he was captured to be sent to Accra and said he forgot his pipe, the ship could not move. They had to bring him back to take the pipe before they took him to the Osu Castle.
I see. Toby, let's hold it there. We'll come back, talk about landmarks and prominent personalities. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back shortly.
Powers and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
Welcome back, and this is the final lap. We are looking at personalities, landmarks, and festivals of the Anglo people. Toby,
Yeah.
which prominent people can you boast of that come from the Anglo state?
Yeah, we have a lot of people. Before Duncan Williams, Otado, there was one Ovenu, ARS. But it was he who prayed before the Tamahama was built. Yeah. And it was he who was the godfather for Azuma Nelson. Then we also have great composers like Toby Akpalu, and illiterate. But if you read his songs, you marvel how or the danger formal education has done to us. And they also have modern day military men like the late Emmanuel Kwashi Kotoka, who toppled Kwame Nkrumah. In politics, Bedema will be mentioned. And then Flight Lieutenant General John Rawlings. And there was a time people think we were too many in the military, in the police, in the civil service. Because those areas need people like us, not people who want of doing anything, go to join them. But we feel you can be useful in the military, in the police, in the civil service.
Why?
Oh, we are very honest people.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't place much value on money. We know that death levels everything. And if you die, don't take anything back. And in Ghana, it is only Anglo that have their own state anthem.
Okay.
A state flag. You know, the national anthem was composed by Philip Baho. It's Anglo man. We are very musical. In fact, we can play other people's music, but they can't play our music. It will be very hard for an account to play Agbada. They can't do it because of the intricate nature of the. But we can play the Adowa. Even before we dance, we dance Adowa before we give the actual dance. So you are very, very versatile, and you can speak other people's language. Okay. This is a great asset to us.
Yeah.
And Angloman can speak Twi. You will not know that he's an Angloman. But if a Chiman speaks Anglo, you know. Because our language is tonal.
Okay.
If you raise the voice, it will mean something. If you lower it, it means something. Chikata. Also Chikata. You know him. Great lawyers. Sasu Chikata, who made a famous statement that where there is no law, there is no crime.
Yeah.
And Kufuor had to increase the panel on the Supreme Court to jail him. Yeah. There are people we appreciate because They are true Anglo citizens.
Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings,
Yes.
former president.
Yes.
And what's his relationship?
Yeah,
with
when
the
he was the
Anglos?
head of state, we went to him in the castle. In fact, I was the spokesperson. And we asked him to do 6 things for us. Before he left, he did all. We asked him to connect us to the national grid, to give us potable drinking water, the sea defense project, the road network from Dabala to here. So we cannot forget him.
Is that why he was given the title Toby Nutifafa the first?
Yeah, the reason why we gave him Tifafa was that he willingly abdicated his presidential post when we did the election, and ex-president Kufuor won. Because he was the military, he could use that to entrench, like what happened in some African countries. And then also, certain things happened, but the way he handled them made him untouchable.
Usually, the Anglos are tagged as NDC.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes and no. I say, in Anglo here, we were predominantly CPP, but Angloga, they were UP. You know, the UP and the opposition, the MPP, they were the same camp. It was when Rawlings emerged, and by that time they have proscribed the CPP. And because his ideas were close to that of CPP then. But before that, you had Benema also forming the National Alliance of Liberals.
Yeah.
That was when the ban on party politics was lifted in 1969. And Busia's Progress Party also was formed. So we want somebody to call our own, because we don't trust other people giving us food. We want people who know us as one of us. That is the reason why we find as if the Anglo area follows NDC. We have some powerful men, not the MPP, from here too.
Okay.
The regional chairman is from here. It's my nephew, Makafi Wanya.
Okay.
Then there was another powerful one, Okujetos. They are from here.
Okay.
Their strong stalwarts in the MPP tradition too.
What natural resources can you boast of as Anglos?
We have our water bodies. You know, water is life. And our water bodies are filled with aquatic animals, which we depend on. Then you also have salt. It's a renewable material, meaning that you don't need to, it doesn't deplete. Once you have water, it will. Then we have one of the beautiful beaches, not only in Ghana but in the world. The golden sand we have here, it makes you to wear even white dress for a whole week without getting tired. We also have rare species of animals, the sitatunga, the turtle, which come here at times. They have the mangrove forest.
They come here.
Yes, they lay eggs on the seaside.
Okay.
Then you have the mangrove forest. It is a breeding ground for aquatic. The fishes come to lay their eggs there. And here also you have very high water table, fresh water table. So as soon as you dig a hole of 4 feet, you get fresh water, even in the dry season.
What landmarks are prominent among the Anglo people?
Oh, the fifth landing stage is the ground where they bury recalcitrant citizens alive. Yeah. If, for example, if you are found chasing other people's wives, they know you are a very bad citizen. they will judge you and then sentence you to the 5th landing stage, and you'll be buried alive standing.
Standing?
Yes. You will be buried to your neck.
How? They dig?
They dig a hole, you know, it's sand, they'll dig a hole with your arms by your side.
And then they cover you?
They cover you. And you'll be left to die and get rotten.
Okay, this was being done when?
Oh, until the British took over.
Okay.
When the British took over in 1874, then they stopped. Now, there are 2 drums, a female and a male. Anytime that act was done, it is played in the night, and everybody knows. So if you are a very bad boy or bad girl, if you hear that, you reform. That is the 1st landing stage, 2nd one, 3rd one. But where you have the execution, is called Baku. The forest is called Baku. If you refuse, you die. That's the name of the forest. But they will be taken through the dual process of judgment. They will allow you to defend yourself.
I see.
But when the people realize that you are a very bad nut, they will not forgive you. They have the Fort Presenstein also. It was built by the Danes in about 200 and something years ago. So it was the only fort from the estuary right down to Lome side. So the slave trade was carried out here.
And festivals. I know the Anglo people are noted for their Hogbechuchu. It's a huge festival for them. It sees a host of people, diverse backgrounds coming in to experience the festival. What is Hogbechuchu? Where from the name Hogbechuchu, and how is the whole festival done?
Hogbechuchu, there are 3 words.
Okay.
Ho is to uproot. Be, that is day. Toto, crossing. Like you cross a river, a toto. So Hogbechuchu means the day our people rose and crossed over. So it's a historical event. You have it to commemorate, first, our being in servitude under God calling. Second, the heroic effort of our ancestors to liberate us, to bring us down to where we are. And then to remember those, our leaders, who brought us to here. But the festival itself marks the end of the Anglo calendar year. So it's like a Thanksgiving service. Now the rituals normally start early in January, where they go for divination to find out whether the festival should be celebrated this year and what should be done to pacify the gods. So if you go get the go ahead, then we start to do the sacrifices. Then the major item that is on the body is you have a Congress of Chiefs, where all the chiefs are invited to plan and then discuss the festival. Now there are ritual aspects too. The first major ritual event is cleansing the land. Cleansing the land. Our people know that we defile the land. Some that people are killed secretly and buried in the land. Sometimes sexually we defile the land and some other things. And whenever the land is defiled, we find the symptoms. It could be flooding to wipe up a section of population, or bushfires, or pandemic. So we have purification of the land. Then after that, we have general cleaning, where people remove the waste in their homes and go and dump at the border with the second town. Then after that, you have a band on drumming and noise making. That is an opportunity for us to reflect on the year. They have the general reconciliation rite, where the Awoemefia sits in state and meet all the chiefs. There's a general confession from him to the chiefs and from the chiefs to him. It is after that we have the Obetutu. We also have mini daba for the school children. And then we have a program for the youth. Either football matches, games, beauty pageant.
On a number of occasions, you have some chiefs from Noche representing at the festival. What's the?
There is still the link between Noche and us. Some 3 years ago, there was a reconciliation rite performed in Noche. The Noches, to them, you run away in the night, which is not a good conduct of a very good visitor. If you visit somebody, you can't run away in the night. It means you are evil. And they also say that whatever might be the reason, there will be reconciliation. So I was there myself. We went there and they performed the rite. Even presently, if you have an Awoemefia, his sandals should be sent to Noche to be blessed.
Really?
Yes. And the person who brings it back will never wear sandals again. They are celebrating Agbogbo Zan. Agbogbo is the wall. Yes, Agbogbo Zan. We celebrate Agbogbo Zan. And anytime they have it, we go there.
Togbi Kumasa, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for the knowledge about your people. I'm sure a lot of people have been educated and a lot of myths or misconceptions have been cleared. And that was a beautiful narration about the history of the Anglo people. And to help us do this, we had our resource person, the Agutadua of the Togbi Te Agozus Turu, Togbi Kumasa. Let's watch out for the next episode. You never know, your tribe may be next. But until then, it's a wrap from us from the sandy beaches of Keta. My name is Wanda Amihigan, and this is People and Places.